Hey guys, welcome to Beyond Bricks. I am Kevin Stewart. And guys, I am so excited. And I'm not just excited because I'm here with you today and getting a chance to speak with you today. I'm excited because of what's going on around me. For those who don't know, I live in Michigan. I live in the northern part of the Detroit metro area in Rochester, Michigan. I love my town, love my community, love where I'm at. But there's something about Michigan that unless you live here, you don't understand, which is the fact that over the last, call it 4 months, 5 months, we get to live in this kind of dark, at sometimes very beautiful winter wonderland of freezing cold tundra. I have tons of friends that travel every single year to Florida for this very reason. The word snowbird in Florida, I believe, was developed because of our state. And this time of year, as we're coming into spring, is my absolute favorite. There's this feeling in the air and the crispness in the air of the warmth coming back. The ability to go outside and finish lunch and take a walk and enjoy the outdoors without my winter coat on. There's something so special about it. So I have a ton of energy coming in today because we have had some unseasonably warm weather these last couple of weeks. We have had some gorgeous days. And guys, it has created an energy that I can feel that's not just me, it's everyone around me. There's a beauty to the idea of what happens when you create and see and sense change happening around you and what it can do for you emotionally. This area goes through a very real thing, which is seasonal depression. A lot of people think that's not real. I can tell you by someone who lives in Michigan that it is right around February. And I am a very positive person. If you've been watching this and if you know me and if you've experienced being around me, I am not someone who I would say deals with depressive type tendencies. I'm just not. I've had my moments, but that's not my normal MO. But I can tell you right around the end of February, beginning of March, even I start to feel it. I start to feel just this weight of the need for sunshine, of the need for the warm weather, the need of the sun rays to come down and fill me up. I need it. And this last couple of weeks, I've received that. And it's been a beautiful thing. So as I was preparing and writing the episode today, that made me think, and I was taking a walk the other day after lunch with Molly May, who works with me, and we're having a great conversation, and it made me think about the joy and the beauty of being present in the moment and how important it is to be present in the moment. I think it's something that we don't put enough emphasis on. I can tell you guys, I have not put enough emphasis on being present in the moment. I have not done a good job in my life of being present in the current times, in the small times, in the little things. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I wanted to spend some time today diving in with you guys on being present in the moment. So the first thing I did is I wanted to kind of get a definition on this. I wanted to get a practical definition. So what did I do? I went to ChatGPT, as I've been so recently taught by my team. They're challenging me to be a little more tech savvy. And I used ChatGPT to ask AI, what is a good way and what's a good definition around being present in the moment? What does that actually mean? So let me read this for you right now. ChatGPT said, focusing on the current situation without dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Engaging fully with your surroundings and experiences. Man, that last part's so good. Engaging fully with your surroundings and experiences. I think that's what I was able to do on the walk the other day. I was able to fully engage with Molly, have a beautiful conversation as we're walking around and discussing the beauty of nature. Walking around and saying, oh my goodness, I can see a bud on that tree. Look, it's getting ready to bloom. Oh, this is amazing. We're so close. It's coming. It's on its way. We're feeling the warmth. We're feeling the joy, and we can feel the energy bubbling up inside of us. I believe the reason that we felt that and the reason that we knew that was because we were able to be present in the moment. Missing that, though, is a tough thing to swallow. I recently had a moment, and it was a tough moment. It was a tough day for me last week where I was dropping my daughter off. And it's gonna be hard for me to even tell this without showing emotion. But I had donuts with dad, was the day at preschool. And I took my daughter and we had this wonderful time. I haven't seen my daughter so excited in a long time. The look on her face and the joy expression on her face. You want to talk about living in the moment. She was in it. She had been looking forward to that. That was her entire world. It was her entire world to get the chance to go have donuts with me in the morning and me to share some time in preschool. And as I'm leaving, as that time is wrapping up, and it wasn't much time, guys, we're talking 30 minutes in the morning. As we're wrapping up, the dads are all taking off, and I'm sitting there playing with her, and I give her a hug, and she jumps up into my arms and gives me this huge hug, and I set her down, and I think it's okay. Then I go over to grab my items and grab the stuff that she had made for me, the beautiful item that she made for me, and I go to leave and I get the crocodile tears. She runs across the room. Daddy, please don't leave me. Dad, please don't leave me. Please stay longer. Please just stay a little bit longer. And it hit me that I don't believe that I have been in the moment enough for my family. I don't believe that I've been in the moment enough with my children. They're seeing it. They're experiencing the times when I'm not fully present with them. And I don't think I'm doing enough. And it was a real wake-up call to me just recently to have this experience. The second piece of that is she wrote down on a sheet of paper all the things about me. And there were some super funny answers, some fantastic answers, but one that, man, it cut me. And it wasn't because she was being mean. It was just what she saw. It's seeing life through the eyes of a 4-year-old. My daughter actually wrote down when it said, "What's dad's favorite thing to do?" I'm hoping she says golf, hang out with people, hang out with me. I'm hoping any of those things. She said work. That's a tough one to swallow because that tells me that I'm not being there enough. I'm not necessarily dedicating the right kinds of time to my daughter and my son and my wife, because I have a terrible tendency of being that person that's constantly looking down and flipping through my phone. I'm present in a device. I'm present in something else. I'm present in looking forward to the things that I have to do later that day or later that week or later that month. I'm looking forward and thinking about and stressing about the sales goals that I have down the road instead of sitting and enjoying and loving the beautiful girl that I have sitting next to me. And I don't think I've done a good enough job. So today is enough about challenging myself as it is challenging you guys, but taking an inventory of everything around you and saying, am I present in today? Because I no longer want to be someone who is not ready and experiencing and soaking in everything that today has to offer. It's super important to stay in that. And it's funny how the world works, because I was listening to a podcast, and anybody who does podcasting or is dedicating themselves to learning to be good at this, obviously has people they look up to. I've mentioned him before on quite a few podcasts, but I'm a massive Ed Mylett fan. His podcast is game changing for me. I listen to it very regularly. I actually very much appreciate when he does his one-off, 30-minute podcast. They really, really land well with me. His insights and his voice into some of these topics have really, really done a good job of centering myself and centering my life, and actually is a big part of the inspiration for why I wanted to do this. I want to be another voice out there similar to him that's giving hope and inspiration to everyone around me. But as this last couple weeks are soaking in and feeling these thoughts of seeing the beauty of being present in the moment, and also being struck in the face unintentionally about how I haven't done a good enough job of that, I get to hear one of his podcasts. And his podcast is talking about the direct correlation between stress and living in the moment, and how not living in the moment and not living in the present is why stress happens. And I'd never really thought of it from that perspective, but what he was saying in his conversation inside the podcast was that the reason that we are stressed out is because we're worried or thinking about something that hasn't even happened yet. We're thinking and worried about something that we don't have any control over. We're worried about what's going to go on next week. We're worried about how we're going to pay that bill. We're worried about the financial pieces of our life. We're worried about things that are happening in the future. That's where stress comes from. It doesn't come from what's happening right now. You may even have a stressful situation. You may have something that's going on very real in your life right now, today, maybe even as you're listening to this podcast. But the reason that it may be stressing you out, I would argue, and Ed would argue, that the stress from that isn't about what's happening right now. It's what you believe that is going to cause to happen down the road. It's the fear of what's going to happen in the future as a direct result of what's going on in your life right now. That's what you're concerned about. That's the fear that you have. That's what's causing the anxiety and stress. The stress comes from the fear of what's unknown tomorrow. So how do we solve that? We solve that by making sure that we are dedicating ourselves to being fully present in today. Guys, there is so much joy and so much beauty that you can find in just knowing that today is a beautiful day. There's a truth and reality to living a full life of joy. And happiness starts by being super grateful. Everything starts with gratitude. I believe that the reason that I felt so much joy as I was taking that walk with Molly and feeling the sun shining on my face and feeling the warmth soak into my body and into my soul, the reason is it made me feel grateful. I was grateful to live in the state of Michigan, where I get to experience the difference between 10 degrees and 65 degrees. I get to experience that, and there's a joy in seeing both sides of that coin. That's the reason that I've had conversations on previous episodes about how you are defined through your failures. And when things go bad and when you have complete catastrophe in your life, the recovery now helps you appreciate what you have moving forward because it helps you see gratitude. Gratitude is a beautiful way to every day make sure you stay present in the moment. My team, I've referenced this before, we finished up and completed the book, The Secret. If you haven't read that book, I can't recommend it enough to you. It's a phenomenal book. I believe it brings some very big truths into thinking and feeling and believing into the life that you want to have. And one of the beautiful pieces of that is showing gratitude. It's speaking in consistent thank yous to the world that you live in. Being able to be in your car, sitting in silence, feeling the sunshine coming through the windows and saying, thank you, God, for the beautiful sunshine I have today. Thank you for what you're bringing in, the warmth you're bringing into the car, because it makes me feel wonderful and it makes me feel good. Thank you for that. Those are simple gratitudes that we forget. I have a journal that I've been keeping that I've been working on, not every morning because I have some consistency issues, but there's a journal that I absolutely love. And the days that I use it are usually the days that I'm the best performer throughout my workday, and probably one of the better people throughout the day. And one of the things that it does is it has me write down 3 simple gratitudes that I'm grateful for today. And as I've done that exercise over and over, it's amazing how I haven't really repeated any of those. And they've all been small, simple things. For example, the day that I left my daughter and had a tough time when I got in the car, a super difficult time stomaching and feeling the fact that she just wanted to be with me and wanting everything to just turn around and go back and grab her and take the whole day and spend all day with her. That's all I wanted to do. But knowing that I had additional responsibilities and I couldn't do it that day, I sat down and I wrote in there, I'm grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for her beauty and her smile and her love for me and her hugs, making me know that I'm important. That was a gratitude. That's a simple gratitude. Finding a way to say I'm grateful for the sunshine because it brings warmth and joy into my life. Showing simple gratitudes, being grateful for where you are right here and right now. Guys, that's one of the best ways to alleviate the stress in your life. It's one of the best ways to live a life that's full and helpful and grateful and can grow those around you, is to be super grateful and happy in the moment. The idea of not thinking into the future, as I was listening to Ed's podcast, was a little difficult. And he addressed this. And for someone like myself, who's a constant dreamer, I mean, the ultimate dreamer, I always have a great idea of what's going to be. I'm the person that naturally thinks about the joy of what's going to happen. It's hard for me to think about just living in the present because sometimes the present doesn't feel right. There's nothing wrong with still having dreams. There's nothing wrong with still having goals and setting the things out that you want to do and having some moments to focus on them, but not at the sacrifice of being present today. You don't have to be scared of dreams. They're just a glimpse. All dreams are is a glimpse into what's possible for your life. Guys, that's all a dream is. A dream is just a glimpse into what is actually possible for your life. Are you approaching dreams in that way? Are you approaching it as a glimpse into the future? Taking a look into what can be and what is going to be, but then coming back into reality and saying, man, I can't wait to get there, but I've got so much to be grateful for today. That's the new way I want to approach dreams. I want to approach my dreams and my goals of just a glimpse into what I believe is going to be the beauty of the future, but then very quickly come back to the ability to say, today is how I make that happen. The things that I do and the things that I get to work on and the people I get to talk with today and the people I get to spend time with today, that is what is going to create the dream. That's what's going to create the future that I'm dreaming about now. The only way I get there is to be fully present in who I am and who I get to be with today. So how do we do it? How do we become more present? How does this happen? Like, what are the ways in which we can focus in and actually find a way to be more present today? So I broke down and I've come up with 3 things that I believe are the building blocks. They're the foundational pieces of how to become more present in the moment. So I broke this down, and it starts with something that I've heard for years, and is actually in one of my absolute favorite motivational videos. I listen to a lot of motivational videos. They get me pumped up. They give me big energy. And sometimes I need to listen to them. In fact, regularly I need to listen to them. So in one of my favorite ones, it talks about loving what you do. I'm going to read you a quote here again. I'm going to read a quote from that video. And I'll be honest, I'm sorry, I don't even know the gentleman who said it. It's a piece of one of his speeches, and it's really, really good. But this is a small glimpse of that, and I love it. It says here, your work is the largest part of your life, and the only way to truly be satisfied is to do what you believe is good work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I believe a lot of people that don't have the ability to stay present or don't even want to stay present in the moment, it's because they haven't created the life around them that they're satisfied with because they don't love what they do. They may like it. They may be okay with it. They may be kind of satisfied enough with it. They may be okay with what it pays. They may be okay with the way that it takes care of their family. And all those things are fine. But do they really love what they do? Do they get full enjoyment and gratification of loving what they do? Guys, I can tell you 100% I love what I do. I think it's what gives me energy, and I believe it's why I am who I am. I believe it's why I'm able to sit here today and why I've dedicated time, energy, effort, and money into trying to bring to you guys joy and energy because I love what I do. I love that I get to sell residential real estate, investment properties, and be involved in people's lives, engaged in the largest financial transaction of their life. I love to guide people through that. I love being able to lead and grow a company that's dedicated to taking care of people. Our mission statement written on the wall right behind you is to affect change in this community through a service and genuine love for other people. That's our mission statement. I love that I get to live that out every day, that inside of our vision statement to build a successful real estate practice based solely on growing relationships and confident referrals from our friends and clients. That's a beautiful thing that I get to live out every day. I love that I get to see people, be around people, and love on people, take care of them when they're stressed, talk them down when they're stressed. I love being able to do that. Guys, I love what I do. And I believe that that's the first piece to finding the way to be present and happy in the moment. So to love what you do, the first thing I believe you have to do is you have to clearly define your why, clearly define your purpose. You've heard me say on here before, my purpose in this life is I want to make everyone's life that I come in contact with better. I want to enhance the lives of everyone I meet. I want to be remembered as somebody who creates joy and brings gratitude and brings happiness to those around me. I want to be someone that brings smiles to people's faces. I want to be someone who's perceived as fun and enjoyable to be around. That's my mission. I want to affect change in people's lives. I want to do that. So I have a clearly defined why and purpose. After you have that, you have to have some very clear standards. You have to have non-negotiables. You have to have a clear set of standards that says this is who I am and this is who I am not. You guys all know, and you can listen to past episodes. I have them. They're written on the wall right over here. You can see them right over here. If you were in our office right now, you could read them over here, but they're great. Show up. We have to be consistent. We have to have a great attitude. We have to be committed for the long haul. We have to do the right thing. We have to have fun in everything we do. And when it all comes down to, we have to believe. We have to believe that it's possible. Those are my non-negotiables. Those are the things that I am not willing to compromise on. Every decision that I make and everything that I do is going to point back to those things because that is me loving what I do. I know that if I'm meeting those standards and the decisions I'm making and the people that I'm making them with are following those guidelines, we are going to do some great things together. We are going to do things that change this world for the positive, that do things for the good of everyone around us if we follow those principles. So the way for me to do that and the way for you to start is you have to first define your purpose and second, define the non-negotiables in your life that are going to push you towards being the person that you truly want to be. And that's different for everyone on here. That's different for every single person watching and listening today. Have you done that? Have you taken the time to go through and define for yourself what you want out of this life? Because you have to define first what you want before you can decide how to have it all, how to combine work and life into the same thing. I do believe that we can have it all. Some people don't. Some people think you have to keep your career, your friendships, your relationships, your family. You have to keep these things in separate buckets. I know plenty of people who believe that. I do not. I do believe that I can have a life that has it all. I believe I can intermingle my family, my wife, my kids, my company, my friends, everyone around me can live this life together. I can do that in a way that it all works in one beautiful circle. I believe it's possible because I do it. I know it's possible. I've seen it. I can be the test case for you. I have had people on the show. I will be bringing people onto the show that are great test cases of having it all, of really being able to have this fully enriched life. Now, has it always been that way? Absolutely not. But am I getting better at it and am I growing more towards it? Absolutely. And do I know it's possible? Without a doubt. I know it's possible to have it all. But it starts with loving what you do. You have to build the life around you through who and what you prioritize. The priorities that we set for ourselves, the who, the standards of who we are spending our time with, who we are surrounding ourselves with, and what we are doing every single day plays directly into what we are going to be and what we're going to grow into. You have to avoid escapism. Escapism is spending time with all the wrong people. You're escaping by not spending your time with the right people and doing the right things. A lot of us have that. A lot of us fall into escapism. We escape living the life we're supposed to by not spending time with the right people. Guys, again, non-negotiable. Do the right thing. We all know what the right thing is. But sometimes do we surround ourselves with the wrong people, therefore allowing ourselves to do a lot of the wrong things? I have. Still struggle with it. I believe all of us do. But are you challenging yourself to change that? Are you challenging yourself to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the proper people and not escape the life that you're supposed to have? I think a lot of us don't go towards the life we have because it actually scares us. It scares us that we won't measure up, that we maybe won't grow into the person we're supposed to be. We're scared to be as big and great and wonderful as we could be. Guys, why is that? Why are we scared to be awesome? Why are we scared to be great? Why? I don't know. I don't know why society has decided that being average is okay, that just living with the times is okay. Guys, I don't want that. I don't want that for you. If you're listening to this and watching this, I'm going to guess that you don't want that for yourself either. I believe the people that want that for their life haven't taken the time to still stick with this episode. They probably already turned it off. And that's okay. Maybe someday we can get them back. Maybe together we can find a way to influence enough people to get them back. But are you finding ways to love what you do? Are you surrounding yourself with the right purpose, with the right people, and the right non-negotiables to create the full life that you want and loving what you do? The second piece, as we're working towards being more present in the moment, is, are you protecting your time? We only have so much time to give. We don't have, and the reality is time is ticking away. Time is getting smaller and smaller every single moment. It's the one thing in life that's guaranteed is this life isn't forever. It's just guaranteed. I heard a stat and I double checked it and pulled it up. Did you know 150,000 people die every day? 150,000 people in this world pass away every single day. How many of those people do you think thought they had tomorrow? How many of the people that are going to pass away today do you believe actually thought tomorrow was going to come? It's probably a lot. In fact, I would say it could be the majority. Guys, we don't know when today is the last day. If that's not enough motivation for you to live into the present and to live into today, I don't know what is. Because we aren't guaranteed tomorrow. We have today. I know I have today. I can give you what I have today because I'm in it. I'm in the middle of it. But I don't know what I'm going to have tomorrow. So what am I going to do? Guys, I'm going to give it all away. I'm going to give you everything I have. I'm going to dedicate my time, energy, and effort to giving away everything I can every single day in order to make the world a better place, because I don't know if I'm going to have tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have another opportunity. Today may be my last opportunity. There's a chance that this could be the last podcast that I shoot. I don't know that. There's no way for me to know. So what am I going to do? I'm going to dedicate everything I have to making sure that I'm giving it the best that I have. And I'm going to protect the time that I have on this earth. I'm going to protect the time and energy that I have to make sure that at the end of my days, I am the person that I wanted to be. I've given an analogy, and it was given to me years ago. And if you have a moment, if you can do this with me, it's an exercise that I love. So if you're listening or watching, sit back. If you can, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine yourself. It's down the road. You're retired. You're no longer working. You're sitting on the front porch. Think of the old picket fence house, the kind of house that your grandparents may have lived in, or the ones that you see on TV. You see this beautiful front porch. It's a nice sunshiny day, 75 degrees, the wind, slight breeze coming off. You can hear birds chirping. It's just this beautiful morning. You're sitting, sipping coffee out of your favorite coffee mug, and you're in a rocking chair. And it's the end. You're right at the end of your life, and you're getting the chance to sit back and reflect. You're going through and you're working through the memories that you've had throughout the course of your life. You're truly taking the time to sit back and reflect on what this life has been and what it has meant for you. So as you're sitting there rocking, feeling the breeze and listening to the birds and reflecting back, what are you feeling? What's the feeling that comes over you? Are you feeling anxiety? Are you feeling stress? Are you feeling like you failed? Are you feeling like you didn't give enough? Are you feeling like you didn't do enough? Are you feeling that maybe you left something on the table? Are you feeling like you maybe had a different purpose that you didn't fulfill? Are you looking back with regret for the life that you've lived? Or are you sitting there and looking back and reminiscing on the times that you have, the core memories that you created because you lived in the present every single day? Are you sitting back and are you reflecting on the beauty of the life that you've built, the family that you've lived, and the family that you've served, and the friends that you've chosen and had in your life that you've lived your whole life with, and the great memories and the joy and the laughter? Are you sitting back and reflecting? And can you honestly sit back and feel the sigh of relief of feeling that you've given it everything you've had? Are you able to feel the peace behind knowing that you gave this world everything you had to give? And can you live with the satisfaction of knowing that you did everything the right way? Which is it? Maybe you're in the middle of that somewhere. The beauty is you're not on that porch yet. You're not in that rocking chair yet. Someday you're going to be. Someday you are going to be sitting and reflecting on the life you have, because we all come to that day. But that day is not today, guys. You get the ability to protect your time today, to decide what you want to do and who you want to do it with. That's how you start to live in the moment. The last piece to this, and I think it's super important, and I think it's one that we all miss a lot, is we have to learn how to celebrate. I don't think that we celebrate our victories enough. I think we get so log jammed on the future. Again, going back to Ed Mylett's podcast, we get stressed about the goals that we have and the things that we want to accomplish and the fact that maybe they haven't hit yet. And so we say, you know what, I'm going to celebrate when this happens. Okay, well then when you achieve that, what happens? Then you set another benchmark, and then another, and then another. I know, because I've done this. I've been a goal setter my whole life. Every time you hit a benchmark, you just set a new one. You never sit back and take the time to be fully grateful in the moment and celebrate what you've done. So many of us don't do that. I know people that have won championships, coaches and players that have won championships that you're like, dude's getting ready to get back in the gym the next day. I think Kobe, again, one of the individuals that I look up to the most based on the Mamba mentality. One of the things that I'm not sure Kobe did enough is I don't know if he celebrated his wins enough. I'm not sure he did, because he was the guy that got back in the gym the next day. I'm hoping he did. I don't know him well enough. I'd love to get a chance to speak to one of his friends at some point and see, was he able to live in the moment? Was he able to celebrate his accomplishments? But I think a way to live and be present in the moment is to celebrate the victories that you've had today. Celebrate the victory, even if the victory is the ability to stand up, go take a walk after lunch and enjoy the sunshine. Guys, that is a victory. That is a victory in and of itself. Are you seeing the wins? Are you seeing the small things that you can be happy and grateful for? The small things that you can celebrate, that you can say to the world, thank you so much for bringing me to this point. Celebration is key to your ability to live in the moment. Being happy, being grateful, and being able to celebrate the beautiful life that we have. You have to celebrate your wins. You have to celebrate your victories as they come. Because if you don't, you're never going to feel fulfilled. You're never going to get to the point where you feel like you have done enough. So celebrate along the way. Love what you do, protect your time, and learn to celebrate. I believe if you take these three things and you take these into practice, you are going to have the ability to live into the moment today. Guys, every single person out there listening today, you all have a unique set of skills. You all have things that you bring to this world that are super important. You all have a beauty that this world needs to see, and they need to see it today. Be present in the moment today. And as always, make sure that you are who you're supposed to be, because the world needs you. Have a good day, guys. Bye.